What's up, you guys? It is episode 38 of the Sci-Fly Zone, and today's destination is going to be taking us back to the DC universe as we're going to be reviewing Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 5. This was more of a setup episode, in my opinion. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're definitely like setting the plot or setting the points or for what's going to pay off later on. I feel like they've kind of been doing that for the last couple episodes. It feels like it's been more of a build up to what's going to be the eventual crescendo. And I mean, based on what the cast is saying about episodes 6 through 8, I feel like that's probably going to be the case. I think things are going to be picking up pretty quickly in the next episodes.
Yeah, you mentioned off screen while we were talking about this episode yesterday, something about how they released the last 3 episodes of the season to like the press and stuff like that. I feel like it's
Yeah, right. They the first 5 episodes of the season they released early to like critics and some of the bigger like content creators who like do reviews on the shows and stuff like that, just so that they can kind of have a head start. But the last 3 episodes, 6 through 8, they did not do this. Nobody in the public, nobody who is not very close to James Gunn has seen these last 3 episodes. And the people who have seen it just have great things to say about it, you know?
Yeah.
Jennifer Holland went on record saying like it's going to have huge implications for the future of the DCU, and they're like really setting up what's going to be going on later down the line. So I'm really excited about it, man.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that it's going to be playing into is Man of Tomorrow, which is really awesome.
Yeah. Still kind of curious how that's going to play in. I know they've made several mentions to Superman. They're not like shying away from that at all. But I'm curious how the last couple episodes are going to set up the next coming movies, because yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
I have an idea. This would be such a leap for DC to do, but what if Peacemaker sets up Brainiac?
I like it, cut G.
You know, like
Ooh.
Brainiac's in one of the other 99 dimensions accessible in the quantum unfolding chamber. And while either Argus is trying to find Peacemaker or Peacemaker is trying to escape from one universe to another, you know, they get Brainiac's attention inadvertently, and then he gets curious about the things that he finds from that interaction, you know?
Yeah, I think that can be a really good idea. There are, I've heard a bunch of rumors about Brainiac being the main villain of Man of Tomorrow. Obviously,
Yeah.
It's going to be Superman and Lex Luthor kind of teaming up to face a bigger threat, and I think Brainiac could totally be that. And there's a ton of options for them to like introduce these new characters through this quantum unfolding chamber, because like you said, there's 99 other dimensions, so like they could really do so many different things with it. And maybe he's behind some of the technology of how it like came to be, you know?
Yeah, because we did not actually get an answer as to who made the quantum unfolding chamber or how it was even. Yeah, just we don't really have an answer to that. And it would be really great to get some more context. And it would make sense for a guy like Brainiac to be behind something as, you know, large as the quantum unfolding chamber.
Yeah, totally. I think that'd be a great way to introduce him to the new DCU.
Yes. So, into the actual nitty-gritty of the episode itself. It opens with yet another flashback, which honestly seems to be the theme of these episodes so far. I'm pretty sure every single one has opened with a flashback of some sort to give us some context as to where we're currently at. And this specific flashback takes us 3 years ago to Rick Flag Jr.'s funeral. R.I.P. R.I.P. So sad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this was a sad scene. I mean, we see Economos standing over the casket. We see Amelia sitting in one of the chairs looking at the casket. Like, she's clearly like very torn up about this. We see Rick Flag Sr. there too. He's sitting behind Amelia, trying to like talk to her, kind of comfort her in a way. And she calls him sir or like general or something like that, and he tries to correct her, tries to get her to call him Rick, like he's seemingly been doing for the last 3 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Rick Sr. really has a sweet spot for Amelia. I feel like he treats her totally different than pretty much anybody else in this season so far.
Yeah, it's totally dad and daughter energy for sure.
Yeah, 100%. He definitely seems like a parental figure to her in a way. So, yeah. And Amelia obviously knows that Chris is the one that killed Rick Jr., but Rick Sr. doesn't know this yet. So he's trying to kind of figure out what happened, because they're not showing him the files, obviously because they know how much it's going to affect him. And Amelia can't come to terms with like telling him what happened.
She's
Whoever did
also not
this,
allowed to.
yeah, true, yeah, she's like she can't do it, like even if she wanted to. But she does say, whoever did this will pay for it, which is pretty strong wording. I mean, it like leads perfectly into this episode and how last episode ended, but yeah, I mean, maybe Rick remembered this conversation after finding out that Chris was the one that killed Rick Jr. and thought, hey, let's see if she really means it. Let's see if she's really about her word.
Yeah, and it seems like, these flashbacks really do help you recontextualize a lot of the conversations that have been had throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Especially that the conversation between the two of them at her apartment. That whole scene,
Yeah. And when he initially sat down and he did his few lines of summing up the Suicide Squad, it was so funny.
Yeah.
We could have been accountants. Like, yep.
Yeah. Done something completely different. Why are we in this field?
Yeah, also, just really quick, we need to do our MVP for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Economos again.
Ooh.
Here's my reason, really quick. One, we'll find out later that him booking Peacemaker in the jail not only saved his life, it ended up saving Eagly's life.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah, and also just him taking that risk in general, again, for his job. He's put himself on the line for Peacemaker, and I love it.
Yeah, man. Economos is a really good pick. I mean, he's a great friend for Chris. It seems like he's a really great guy, and he wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But his job is like compromising his morals, Yeah. So
and he's already a pretty like socially awkward person anyway,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So who's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Leota, I think.
Interesting.
I want Leota as my MVP. Yeah, sort of for a different reason. Sort of for like, I think she's really taking a important role in this friend group with like the 11th Street kids, and like she's in a interesting position where like some of her friends are working with Argus to try to take out her other friend, Chris, so she's also in a compromised position. And like her decision making and her quick thinking in this episode was very mature. And I think it was in last episode trying to like convince Chris that maybe he belongs in this dimension and he doesn't have to go live this new life. Maybe he was put here for a reason.
Yeah.
And the way that she, when she got that text from Chris when they were leaving the cabin, she immediately pulls over because she knows like something's up.
And she doesn't text and drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's responsible as well. Yeah. Yep. And I think she has a really sweet moment with Adrian at the end of this episode, which was really important and kind of like emphasizes like her role in this friend group. She's kind of like a motherly figure in a way.
Yeah, she definitely holds everyone together to a degree. Like she reassures Amelia that she did the right thing. She was there for Adrian. So
yeah,
I totally see why you'd pick her.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So to sum up that flashback, Amelia's pissed. Rick Flag is pissed. Rick Flag can't get the answer to his son's killer because the information is classified. But they both agree, Amelia and Rick, that the person who did it will pay for what they've done. And Amelia doubles down on this, saying that she will make sure that it happens. So that's just crazy. And then the title of this episode is Back to the Suture. Very fun play on words there. Suture is a thin, sterile thread that's used to close wounds and hold tissue together during the healing process. And CJ actually had a pretty good idea on what this title means for the episode when we were watching it yesterday.
Yeah, so I basically asked about the idea that the suture in this title is the alternate dimension that Chris has been going to kind of like, I guess, in a way, heal his wounds, kind of like emotionally. That's where he's gone to like heal his wounds and heal his trauma. So it's kind of like that other dimension has been like his first aid kit in a way, I guess. Like whenever he's down, if he has a bad conversation with Amelia, goes into that dimension, he has this other life that he can live and in a way like heal his wounds and just ignore them.
Yeah, it's like he's putting on VR goggles, but it's real.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
So yeah, after the title slide, we immediately meet back up at Cupperberg Park, where Amelia is hoping that Peacemaker doesn't show, because we find out that when Peacemaker texted her to meet and she said copacetic, copacetic is actually a code word. It means do not come. We're not gonna show up. You know, we're just making it look like we're going to, but no, do not come.
Do not come. Do not come.
Danger.
Yeah. But obviously, Peacemaker shows up anyway, and Argus has agents everywhere, including Judo Master. He's up on a roof with a sniper rifle with just a tranquilizer shot, thank God. When I first saw that, I was like, are they about to pop Peacemaker? I thought they wanted to detain him. Damn.
Bro, they were surrounding the perimeter. They were everywhere. They were all like blending into the public, well, except for Juno Master, who had a sniper on the roof. But everybody else was, they all had like nicknames based on colors too. Like Ponyboy is aquamarine, Judo Master is fuchsia, and Bordeaux is maroon. Not sure how they came up with that. I guess according to Flurry, you are not allowed to go by your first name in Argus.
No, and Flurry was also Ivory as well.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, very, very interesting there. But Peacemaker's smart. This is not his first rodeo. So when he shows up, he's surrounding himself with dogs. He's acting like he's seeing people he hasn't seen in a while at the park. He's kicking soccer balls with other people playing soccer. He's just making himself the hardest target to hit, because they're obviously not going to want to take out any civilians during this whole engagement. And when he gets to Amelia, he immediately gets her wire and just yanks it off so they can have a nice private conversation. And Flurry's pissed. He's just like, dude, they took the wire off. What the heck?
This was so funny. This was such a good scene. I love the way he played this.
Yeah.
He's very paranoid, and honestly for good reason, because it worked out for him. Yeah, immediately going for the mic. Like he absolutely knew something was up. Also, something I don't know if this is like just me looking too much into it, but there was noticeably more diversity, way more diversity at this park than we have seen in the other dimension at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it feels like each episode, like there's more evidence to show that you're probably right about it being Earth X.
Yeah. And a lot of other fans and major YouTubers who are covering this series are coming to similar conclusions as well. So I really do hope that we're right, because it would be really interesting if something else was the case.
Yeah. It feels like it's hard to think of what else it could be. You know, it feels like it's right there, right?
Yeah, it seems like it's right in our face.
Yeah, and somebody at some point, somebody will notice. And
yeah,
probably not gonna be Chris.
Yeah. So anyway, Peacemaker's wanting to get closure on his relationship with Amelia, because this is like the last thing that's keeping him in this universe in the first place, because we've gotten many reasons over flashbacks and conversations as to why Amelia doesn't like Peacemaker in the first place, but she still views him as a friend and still cares about him. And remember, they still even had a romantic interaction or two while they were drunk on the boat before episode 1, timeline wise. And in the other universe, Amelia's way more fond of Peacemaker and is willing to give their relationship a chance. So if Peacemaker knows for a fact that he can get closure with Amelia in this universe, then he can feel a lot better about dipping this one and going to the other one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we don't know for sure what happened on that boat, but whatever happened, it really meant a lot to Peacemaker, dude. He is really trying to figure out like whether or not it meant anything to Amelia. Doesn't mean the same to you as it does to me. I mean, he's putting his life on the line to figure out whether or not it matters to her. And he keeps pushing and pushing, and she just finally says, no, it didn't mean the same to me as it did to you, which is, I mean, crushing for Chris. Like, yeah, really tough for him to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Amelia is just not in the same headspace at all whatsoever. Like, she knows Argus has him dead to rights right now, and they're going to capture him. And she says to him, like, your ego is so big that you think you can get out of this, but you can't. And, you know, she's right to a degree. You know, he's not going to be able to get out of this. And also during this exchange, we actually find out that Sasha Bordeaux is a cyborg.
Yeah.
While she's aiming at Peacemaker, we see a bunch of machinery in her eye doing calculations and data. And this was not a reveal that I was expecting whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither. I did not see this coming. They didn't really hint anything at it. Like, this was like really cool to, new addition. It is comic accurate. She is like a cyborg in comics, so that's
Oh, that's
cool
cool.
that James Gunn like sticking to that. And yeah, she gets really close to taking a shot, man. She has a shot on Peacemaker. It's got like a 0.002% chance of failure. And Amelia hears this and does not want that to happen. She does not like it. So she jumps into action. She tackles Peacemaker while he's got, I think, Pony Boy on his back. And she tackles him, puts him in a chokehold, and chokes him out unconscious so that nobody can kill him. You know, like this was a really good move for Amelia, and she proves herself right away to like be seemingly back in the good graces with Argus. She did exactly what she needed to do on this first mission. So, I mean, I see no reason why she can't continue to do this.
And also, she saved his life too. He was gonna die.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was the best situation for everyone, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, back to Bordeaux, how she became a cyborg in the first place was she was in a plane crash and half of her body had to be replaced with machinery. So now she's basically just a field agent with really good shooting accuracy and data calculation. But she didn't calculate eagerly, though.
Nope, couldn't do that. Couldn't figure that out.
Anyway, yeah, so after they get Peacemaker detained, we cut back to Leota and Adrian, and they're sitting out on front of the porch listening to some music on a radio. And Leota gets a phone call, and it seems to be for her security ad that she put out for the Scam magazine. So we're like, I guess Peacemaker might have been a little bit wrong about assuming that that whole magazine was a scam. And, you know, initially we're like, okay. But then as the conversation goes on, Leota's asked a few questions that one might not typically ask in a security hiring conversation. And that guy was asking if she does Greek, like if her agency specializes in Greek.
And she's like trying to play off his questions as if she knows what he's talking about. Like, yeah, we specialize in Greek. Oh, the hat? Yeah, actually wear many hats for my mystique.
It's part of the brand.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So they agree to meet up for her first security gig, and she asks Adrian, "Hey, in regards to security, what does Greek mean? Greek in security? No clue. But in sex work, it means butt stuff."
He says it so casually too. He's like, well, actually, technically. He's sipping his tea. Like, no, that's not what it is.
Yeah, he says, in no offense, but it sounded like you and that guy were having a prostitute conversation. But don't worry, I never kill prostitutes. Their lives are hard enough. Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you, big dog.
He's like, he's great. He's an ally.
She's like, I'm not a prostitute, Adrian. What the heck? He's like, definitely just heard you having a prostitution conversation. It's like he's known her for like years at this point.
Yeah.
He knows. Yeah. So like it's just the way he rationalizes things is so funny.
So good, dude.
Yeah, and at the same time, we see Red Saint Wild is on the property looking for Eagly, because remember he did that whole astral projection stuff that we never talked about again or learned more about. He was just able to find the house with this astral projection stuff, and then we go right back to Argus headquarters. And at the headquarters, Sasha and Amelia are arguing over how the whole detainment of Peacemaker went down, because Rig Flag Sr. gave Bordeaux the green light to take the shot. But then when Amelia heard that, she was like, oof, not good. So she took him down instead and knocked him out so they could bring him in. So Amelia's like, look, our goal is to find the quantum unfolding chamber. Do you think we're going to find that with this man dead? And she's like, yo, you disobeyed a direct order. Like, And she's like, what order? Like, I had the shot. And he's like, well, you know what? I don't give a shit. I made a judgment call. If you have problems with me, take it up to HR. Shut the F up. Back the F up.
Yeah, dude. I mean, what a scene for Amelia. Like, she stands tall. She looks strong. One of the rare times that we see this in this season. Like, more often than not, we've seen her, like, falling on her ass, getting her ass kicked, getting in bar fights. And, like, this was great. She looked really good in this moment.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, you know, Bordeaux's a pretty high up official in Argus, but it seems like not a lot of people like her or want to obey what she is ordering people to do.
Yeah, she's like very close with Rick and very close to the top of the power, but still she doesn't really have much sway or like influence herself, you know.
You ain't got the answer, Sway. That's the only time I'm gonna be referencing Kanye, guys. I promise. So they take Peacemaker into the interrogation room. He's like, "Hey, John."
Hi.
And Economist is like, "He's just acting casual. We don't know each other.
Barely know the guy. Met him once in a grocery store."
So then, immediately after that, Amelia pulls Economos into the snack room because there's no surveillance in the snack room, that's funny.
Yeah, that's where you get your privacy.
Yeah. And they're talking about how the whole thing went down. And he's like, why did you turn in Peacemaker so you can get your job back? And she's like, I said copacetic. That's the code word. He's not supposed to show up, but he did anyway. And they don't know why. And apparently she didn't take his conversation into account at all. Because he literally said, I wanted to ask you about what that night meant to you. That's the only reason I came here. He literally said that.
Yeah.
But she goes on to say, you know, like what happened at the park was best case scenario. And I did what I could. And Economos, you need to book him right now so we can get him on file in the system so Argus can't just disappear him.
Incredibly genius.
Yeah, no, like, super quick thinking.
Yeah, 100%. And like this was very obviously the right idea, because when they get into the interrogation room, Rick goes, hey, turn off the surveillance, turn off the recording,
get out of the room, close the shades.
Yeah, she saved his life, honestly.
Yeah, her and Economos saved his life 100%.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Economos was like pretty scared to do this because he knows Argus, like this goes against Argus' true intentions. And he calls himself a famously giant pussy, which I think is hilarious because, you know, I get it, but you also just spit on Fleury last episode.
Yeah.
So I think you got a bit more balls than you think, Economos. Like,
yeah, he's 100%.
Yeah, so at the same time, really quick, we're kind of jumping back and forth between Argus and Red Saint Wild throughout this episode. And Red Saint Wild, he's filling a dead rat with some kind of poison or toxin intended for Eagly to eat it and kill him. And he tosses it in front of the cabin, hoping that Eagly will eat it. And then we go back to the interrogation room. And like CJ explained, this is going off book, off script for sure. And Peacemaker, he already knows why Rick Flag is in that room alone with him. So he's like, look, I'm sorry, I got caught up in all the BS. And then he proceeds to eat like 4 or 5 punches to the face, a couple knees to the face, a couple kicks to the face, to the gut. Oh my gosh, man. And what's tough is Rick Flag doesn't think that Peacemaker understands that his son is a better man than both of them. But Peacemaker does get that. And that makes it even harder for Rick Flag Sr. to like kind of beat the crap out of him because he just wants to hate him. But Peacemaker admitting these things that like, yo, no, I know your son was a good guy. It was effed up. I feel bad about it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't like regret doing it. That's going to make it harder for Rick Flag Sr. to want to beat up on him. But like him hearing that just kind of like fuels the fire more in a way because he's more frustrated about him not being like as effed up as a guy as he probably assumed he was.
100%, man. Yeah, I mean, Chris is saying all the right things, you know, like he's saying the right things.
Nor is he fighting back either.
Yeah, Yeah, he's not fighting back. He's like, he believes the things that he's saying, and they're like also true. Like, but Rick Sr. has been waiting for this moment for 3 years, like waiting to find out how his son died, and figuring and like taking care of that person. Basically, he wants to unleash his anger on Chris now. He like wants to finally conquer what's been keeping him up at night for 3 years at this point. The one thing that took his son away, and Chris is there, like just like taking it, and because he believes it's right. Honestly, I mean, like in John Cena's words, he was talking on the Peacemaker podcast, and he says that in Peacemaker's mind, this is justice because like he deserves it, and whatever happens to him, he deserves it. Like, so that makes it even harder for Rick Sr. because he wants this to be some like big bad guy that he's taking down, but Chris is like being very human about it, you know, and like he's admitting that he's wrong. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, both of these guys are clearly affected by the loss of Rick Jr., and they've been carrying the burden for years. Rick obviously differently because it's his son, but like, I mean, it's really affected both of them.
Yeah. The performance by both of the actors, Frank Grillo and John Cena, they both like killed this scene for sure. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised that knee to the face that Peacemaker took didn't outright kill him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was, I mean,
They had to have used that like fake body double for
oh,
that scene. There's
probably.
no way John could have actually ate that kick
Yeah.
IRL. There's no way. Like, I don't think he's even eaten a kick like that in like any WWE stuff like that bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would shatter his nose, like
And his
100%.
jaw, maybe.
Yeah,
On
basically.
the back of his skull.
Yeah, the back of his head's hitting the wall. Like, I mean, yeah, he was bleeding quick. He started bleeding real early.
Yeah, so while all this is going on, Economos successfully books Peacemaker, and Bordeaux is like, "What are you doing? Why?" He's like, "Oh, my bad for taking some busy work off of everyone's plate, but now we have eyes on us, you moron." He's like, do you mean you're welcome for doing what we're all required by law to do? Yeah, you're welcome."
Sorry for doing my job. I apologize.
And then Flurry's just standing off to the side like, "It was good that you did that."
Weird, dude. So funny. I know it's like I feel like he means it, and it is nice, but the way that he delivers it is just so funny to me.
Like it had the energy of like you're watching a movie and it was like that one background character just like butts in for a second.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
It's like, what? Who are you? But and it just also just seemed like off expectation for what the situation was. You know, you think a person who represents Argus would be on the side of not booking Peacemaker, but especially Flurry, who's been, you know, trying to get Peacemaker the whole time. But I do respect Flurry for wanting to actually go by the book still.
Yeah, totally. He's not like he's not letting the mindset of like Rick Sr. and what he wants to do. He's not letting that affect his morals and his job and what he's supposed to do, which I respect. That's a good move.
Yeah, 100%. So Rick Flag Sr. is literally choking him out.
Yeah.
He's got him in a chokehold, literally. And Bordeaux walks in and says, "Oh, my bad. Sorry to interrupt. He's Economos booked him." So Flag's like, "All right, take him. I'm done. I've done it. I'm good."
Got on my anger for the day. We're good, but we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, so thank God, because I think another 20 or 30 seconds, who knows?
Yeah, 100%. He totally could have at least suffered from like some serious injuries, like to like bones or like his
brain.
Yeah, literally.
So we cut back to Eagly, and we finally are going to get some resolution to what's going on. So he's right in front of the poison rat. He's playing with it. He's tossing it around, making sure the animal's dead, because that's what eagles do. You know, they kind of play with their food a little bit before they outright, you know. And luckily, as Eagly is about to eat the poison rat, Adrian, he walks out. He says, "Hey, Eagly, hold up. we're going to go get your dad from Argus. Since Rick Flag Sr. beat up Peacemaker so bad, they actually decided it would be safer to just release him than send him to local prison looking so effed up, because that could look bad on Argus for them doing something bad to a pretty public superhero.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So Adrian and Leota are going to go pick up Peacemaker from Argus since they just released him, like I said. And while Eagly is watching them leave, saying goodbye, Fox pulls up behind him and takes the rat. So he's like, no, you're not taking my food. So the fox runs away and Eagly quickly catches up to him. It was pretty impressive. And the fox was like, I don't think I can outrun this situation, so I'm just going to eat your food. So he eats the rat, and I'm not even kidding. 10 seconds tops, this fox collapses, is dead, and mucus, etc. It's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever Red St. Wild put in this rat was not good at all. Absolutely meant for Eagly. Thank God he didn't eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fox was down quick, and Adrian inadvertently saving Eagly's life.
And then Economos even more inadvertently.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so everyone is doing their part for Peacemaker, even though he doesn't even know it, you know?
Yeah.
He's not able to see it because of what he's going through and what he's feeling right now. Yeah. Nor is he, he's also physically not there. So.
True. Yeah, that's also a big part of it.
Yeah. So after Red St. Wild sees that the rat thing didn't work, he pulls out the longest hunting rifle I have ever seen in my entire life.
This thing was massive.
This thing is longer than my attention span.
Yeah, I mean, it was, apparently, this is like a real gun too. This is not a gun that was made for this show. This was not a prop that was made for this show. This gun exists. This is like an actual bird hunting gun. I think it's called a punt rifle or something like that. But usually it has a stand or something holding it up.
Oh, like a tripod or something?
Yeah. Aside from just one guy holding
or a bipod.
Yeah. As opposed to him just holding it up on his shoulder. And
yes,
this thing is like, I don't know how much this thing weighs, but it has got to be, I don't know how he's controlling this thing at all.
Well, he's a metahuman, I guess. So
I guess so. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he pulls it out because he's done playing. He wants to get the Prime Eagle.
Yeah. Don't know why he didn't start with that. Probably could have saved himself.
You know, we're still doubtful at this point that like this whole Prime Eagle myth, possible BS is even real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we don't know if he's just on some weird cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs BS or if this is actually some real stuff.
Yeah.
But, Adrian and Leota, they get to Argus and pick up bloodied Peacemaker, and we see that Judo Master is actually right on their tail, and this was actually Flag's master plan the whole time, because he knew once he gave Bordeaux the green light to shoot, he knew Amelia would intervene and get him detained safely, and then he made himself look sloppy and emotional during the interrogation process so that he could get released. So then once he goes home, he thinks he's in the clear, but in reality, he's doing all of this so that Judo Master can follow them back home, hopefully leading them to the new location of the Quantum Unfolding Chamber.
Yeah.
Bro is playing chess.
Playing chess, yeah. It's all manipulation. He is, I mean, everything is happening pretty much how he wants it to. Essentially, his master plan is coming to fruition, and I mean, yeah, he couldn't take Chris out this time, but hey, just send Judo Master after him. Let's get him again. We'll do it all again.
Yeah, he is Slick Rick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, Flag and Bordeaux are seemingly taking a few chemistry classes together, because they're getting pretty flirty at the end of this episode.
Yep. Yeah, Sasha is hot for teacher.
Nice. That was good. But in the car, while they're driving back home, Peacemaker's catching up with Adrian and Leota about what happened with Amelia and his perspective on it is, she's fucked up. I hate her. Excuse my language. But, she's messed up and I'm done. I don't want to, I'm done. And Leo's like, what do you mean you're done? He's like, just forget about it. I'm just talking. But he's not just talking, obviously.
No.
Because what he means is I'm going to the new universe at this point.
Yeah. His mind is seemingly made up at this point, and there's not really anything that can change that. He's just decided that his life is better in the other dimension, despite the things that he has to leave behind, and he's down bad, man. He's down bad in this dimension.
He is, and I don't blame him for leaving.
Yeah, me neither.
So Judo Master does follow them back home, and Peacemaker is calling for Eagly to come back home, and he's not coming back home because he is busy trying to evade Red St. Wild. But it appears that Red St. Wild actually hits Eagly with a shot, and Eagly goes down. And when he approaches the body, it looks like he actually managed to knock down Eagly, aka the Prime Eagle. But then we see an eagle slash him in the face. And then we see another eagle. And then we see another eagle. And then we see all the eagles. And then we see Eagly himself, who is actually the Prime Eagle. And he shows his signal to St. Wild, said, "It is me, I am him. Who do you think you are? I am." And Eagly calls in all the other eagles to work together and kill St. Wild. Eagly is truly the GOAT Prime Eagle.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
He is. This was crazy.
Yeah.
This was insane. This whole time I thought Red St. Wild was off his rocker. I thought he had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And it turns out he was right the whole time. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie, for a second, more than a second, I really thought that was Eagly that he killed. I
me too.
seriously
I was
thought
worried.
I was so worried. I mean, the way they like produced this scene after he shoots the eagle and it falls down makes it totally seem like it's Eagly. Like,
yeah,
he shoots the eagle down, Chris calls for Eagly, he doesn't come to him, the sad music starts playing, Chris is alone, and then it cuts to a dead eagle. We don't know which one it is until we do get confirmed that Eagly is a Prime Eagle and still alive, and God Emperor Eagle.
Yeah.
And like, wow, this is quite the scene, dude.
Yeah, it was very, very awesome. And it makes you call into question as to how Peacemaker obtained Eagly in the first place and why Eagly is so keen to stay by his side.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Prime Eagle is just Peacemaker's like pet, basically.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
He's just hanging out with him, and he's been around him for a long time at this point. He's never felt the need to like use his powers outright like that. Obviously, he's an extremely skilled eagle and has been helping Peacemaker out a lot, but he hasn't tapped into his full potential until now.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I feel like an eagle wouldn't want to bring other eagles into human conflict unless absolutely necessary, because you know how humans are.
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut back to Peacemaker, and he's writing a note to Leota asking her to say goodbye to everyone for him, and simultaneously Judo Master is calling Flurry, reporting on the premises, and Flurry calls him Duncan Munchkin. How does Flurry always come up with these nicknames, man?
Dude, I feel like he just has like a massive jar in his room, and he just writes a bunch of nicknames down on a piece of paper and just picks one out one day, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna call him Duncan Munchkin.
Yeah. But Judo Master hears this and tells him, hey, call me that again, and I'm not kidding. I will literally, rip your dick off your body. And I learned this move from a blind monk in the Himalayas. Like, I am not capping whatsoever. And Flurry's like, yeah, Flag sent the right guy for the job. I'm going to call in everyone to support you and bring in Peacemaker. You're good.
Yeah, he switches up real quick. And this is the right move, because I completely believe Judo Master.
100%. I'm not effing with Judo Master whatsoever.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially considering what just happened to Red St. Wild, I believe most of the things that these guys are going to be saying from now on. Blind Monk, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, last thing I want is his Cheeto fingers going anywhere near me.
Yeah. Yep.
So Eagly flies back in with seemingly Red Saint Wild's finger, and Peacemaker's like, I'm just gonna pretend you found that.
That's funny, dude.
He knows his eagle all too well. It's very good.
So good, man.
So Peacemaker then sends a text to Leota saying, bye, bestie. Be good. And she's like, oh, hell no. That is the last text you want to get from your friend. Peace. Be good. And so she turns around and goes immediately towards the cabin because obviously bad news. And we see Peacemaker setting up the quantum suitcase, and he's making it so the door closes behind him so that no one can follow him and Eagly back to the new universe, because he wants to commit fully to said new universe where he has a brother that loves him, a father that loves him, and a girl that will give him a chance in a world that respects him, and one that it will accept him with open arms. So I don't blame him.
Yeah, you can't really blame him either. He's, especially considering he's gotten a taste of this other life that seems like it's so much better for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why wouldn't he want to go there and just do that for the rest of his life? He wants to be a son. He wants to be a brother again. Like, all signs are pointing to like that this is a better place for him, Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it definitely seems like a better place, given how little context we have.
Yeah.
But Judo Master follows him into the other universe. So now there's going to be multiple people from this universe going into what is seemingly Earth 10. And if it is going to be Earth 10, Judo Master is going to have some complications.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there's going to be several people who go into this universe that are not going to be welcomed, I think we're probably going to see, we've seen an Amelia variant. We're probably going to see an Economos variant, maybe. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Leota variant or a Judo Master variant or a Flurry variant. Like, yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Another thing, while Judo Master is by the portal, he tries to call Agent Flurry, and the phone's not working because it's too close to the portal. Similarly to how Chris, when he tries to use the other dimension's phone in this dimension to text Amelia, it doesn't go through, and like vice versa. So I think that was kind of a good little detail, pretty good consistency there.
Yeah. A bunch of dimensional discrepancies going on.
Yeah. Yep. And Judo Master also leaves a note on the page that Chris was writing on. Says he's going into the portal, and you see his Cheeto dust fingerprints all over the page. For a guy who's doing some pretty sketchy stuff with Argus, he's really doing a good job at distinguishing his fingerprints from everybody else's and making sure that his DNA is everywhere it can be.
Yeah, mine's orange.
Yeah. Huh, I wonder whose fingerprints these are. Why do they taste like cheese?
So Adrian and Leota find the note that he left them for Leota to read to everyone and get together. And as they're reading it, he's explaining like, I'm done trying to make up for myself here. It seems like no one gives a crap about me here, and everyone else in the other universe does. And it makes more sense for me to be there. So I'm going to go. And I know you guys probably don't agree with me, but this is what feels right for me to do. And at the same time, we see Peacemaker, Eagly, his brother, and his father all going to fight a big kaiju in the new universe. And not only do they go fight it, they also win. And Peacemaker comes back to Argus, where Amelia is waiting for him to greet him with a bunch of love and happiness. And it really seems like this is going to be Peacemaker's new home for a while.
Yeah, man. He is getting very comfortable. Things are going too well, honestly, for him. Things are going way too well. One thing about a big reason why I have Leota as my MVP of this episode is because of this scene of her like getting the note and having to stand in front of everybody else and read it to them, because she is still processing all this herself as well, but she still has to stand there and like tell the story to everybody else and kind of like be the only one. Everybody's going to have questions, and she's kind of the only one that they can ask them to, like she's I think this was like she really took on like a motherly figure, I feel like, for the group in this scene. And I mean, we see that in the way that that she comforts Adrian, you know, in the room when he's off. By the way, Peacemaker's biggest mistake all season, making Adrian cry. Don't do that to my boy. He's gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts for episode 6. I'm in episode 6. I'm gonna go in there and kill Chris myself because he made Adrian cry.
For real.
Episode 7 and 8 are gonna be about me because Peacemaker's gonna be dead.
Yeah, you can't do our boy Adrian like that.
Yeah.
Dude, no, literally seeing him cry, like, I actually low-key wanted to cry. Like, I wanted to give him a hug myself. I'm like,
yeah, man.
I'm so sorry he did this to you.
Yeah, dude. It was such a juxtaposition from what we've seen from him in the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that his character's been written, I haven't been the hugest fan of it. I want more of him on my screen, and
him
when
killing people.
Yeah. And when
that's his main thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And like not doing all like a bunch of like silly like animal facts. Like it's funny for the first couple times.
Too many animal facts.
Yeah, and also he's getting them wrong. But
yeah.
So yeah, I really hope we get more Adrian in the last 3 episodes of this series. He's great.
Yeah. And he has been hinting at finding another version of himself multiple times. So that would be cool too. Yeah,
dude, please let there be an Adrian variant. I want that so bad. I want them to interact with each other. I feel like if there is an Adrian variant, the Adrians are going to be best friends with each other. I think they're going to get along really well.
Oh yeah,
that could be that'll be the new top trio: Chris, Adrian, and Adrian.
Yeah. But that's not where this episode ends. This episode ends with Amelia taking this note and the quantum suitcase that was left behind when the door was closed. And they're going to be like, you know what? No, we're going to go get Peacemaker back. We're going to go get our buddy back. And, you know, I get it, but at the same time, like, what do you think their true motivation is? Like, why do they want to bring him back?
Maybe Amelia in particular wants to like be a little more involved or kind of help him out a little bit more. Like I feel like because she's the one that like initiated, hey, we're gonna go and bring him back, you know?
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a big character shift from where she was at the start of the season, because she's been very closed off. She's been very distant from Peacemaker, and she hasn't she's not a huge fan of him. Obviously, he like killed her only friend.
Yeah.
So I think that she is. I mean, one, I think she's kind of gotten more confidence from the Argus, like being able to work with Argus. I feel like she feels like she has more like purpose in her life, maybe. So she's more comfortable being going and initiating this with the group and trying to be the one to bring him back and take the necessary steps to like kind of heal their relationship in a way. But yeah, I mean, obviously they care about their friend, but
yeah,
it seems like he doesn't really want to be there, you know? So I'm not sure what the motivation could be.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in his life are making him feel like that, you know, he doesn't belong there, or that like he's not worth their time. So
yeah,
can't blame him. But yeah, that is this episode for Peacemaker, episode 5. It's definitely gonna be super chaos from here.
Yeah. Yep, this is probably the last like kind of chill episode that we're gonna get. If you want to describe it like that, things are definitely gonna escalate from here for sure.
Yeah, we're very excited, and we will be continuing to cover it, and we will also be covering the new Marvel Zombies that is going to be coming out soon as well. So stay tuned for that, and we're also going to be still making videos on the Major League Baseball playoff race and stuff that's going on with that. So stay tuned for all of that content. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. If there's anything you want us to talk about in the comments, leave it down. We'll be happy to talk about it. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching and hope to see you on the next one.